stopping by. If this is your first time, welcome. Glad you can be here. For today's Throwback Thursday, we got Foreign Beggars, Frosted Perspeks. I've been told that this is a very important song in UK hip-hop history, as well as it's going to blow my mind. So I'm excited to get into it. I've had these cats on the channel before. I was super impressed, obviously. But yeah, man, no more talking. Let's jump in, give it a listen. Okay, before this cat gets going, I gotta make a comment about that beat, man. It's the layers of it are so incredible. You have the screaming, you have the chorus in the background, that string instrument, and the different layers and levels of drums. Very nice.
Trapped like lab rats scratching on frosted Perspeks, ultraviolet lamp on 24/7, never knowing if it's day or night. Vision of a criminal in the form of a shaman night. Living life fixed like program microbes.
It's gonna be one of those, is it? Jeez. I have to apologize because I don't remember. I've only done them once, so I'm ignorant to who these cats are in terms of their names, so I apologize. But this guy right off the start, man, talking about he feels trapped like a lab rat behind frosted glass, and there's so many freaking levels of that. That one sentence, that one bar. There's so many different ways you can look at that and unpack that. Like first off, is he feeling trapped in society, in his own mind, in his city? In the mind state that he has, like there's so many different things he can feel trapped by. And he's a lab rat, and what do we do with lab rats? We experiment on them, we treat them like shit, basically use them, and then you're scratching, you want to get out, but at the same time what you're looking at is behind frosted glass. So your ideal of what's behind that glass is distorted, so you're not really seeing it for what it is. So we don't really understand what we're looking at because we're getting this frosted view. It's so friggin' deep, man. One first bar comes out, and if the rest of the songs like this could be end up being like a 40-minute song or a 40-minute video. I'll do my best that it won't be.
Perspeks, ultraviolet lamp on 24/7, never knowing if it's day or night. Vision of a criminal in the form of a shaman night. Living life fixed like program microbes. Governed by lies who just hide behind their white robes. My mind knows better, but we choose to walk the tightrope. Eyes wide open, but we're shadowed by the blindfold. We see the truth and light.
Then again, he goes back with that eyes wide open, but blind, like behind a blindfold. I can't remember exactly how he says it, but again, your eyes are open. You're trying to see, but you're still blinded by the blindfold. Your idea of what you're seeing or whatever is still distorted. Not everything is being shown to you. I want to catch this part about the tightrope again. But when he talks about a criminal, like a shaman knight, is it kind of like I guess people's idea of what's criminal is distorted, like a shaman or a shaman, who is basically telling the truth could be seen as a criminal. Is that kind of what he's getting at? And the politicians hiding behind did he say politicians hiding behind the white robe? Is that like a KKK thing, or do politicians or whatever wear white robes in the UK, and that's kind of like he's saying that they can do whatever they want and then hide, and then they're kind of safe because they're hiding behind that cloak kind of idea. That man, like I said, so much shit going on here. I don't know. I want to hear this tightrope bar again though.
Program microbes, governed by lies who just hide behind their white robes. My mind knows better, but we choose to walk the tightrope. Eyes wide open, but we're shadowed by the blindfold. We see the truth unlike those barristers in cheap suits who see the weak in youth as opportunities to reap the loot. Read the newspaper, watch the telly like we're hypnotized. Let's concern with famine and some ghetto Whizzingtons. Why prison life with innocent minds being victimized? Sodomized, little lies result in getting killed with knives. Feeling spice, spill the blood of parents as their children cry. Stranger people choose to lose and live, I'd rather win than die. I traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is
Man, that last bar about would rather live and lose, and he would rather win and die. So like in my mind, that'd be like people would rather just go day to day, because he even talks about the television, the media, kind of looking at a blindness and being hypnotized by it. And it goes back to that line. It's like you'd rather kind of live this ignorant, hypnotized life, and going day to day, eventually just to die, live your days and just die meaningless, live and lose. So my apologies. So just kind of live life and never really accomplish anything, never really understand the truth, never really get to those goals. And this cat's saying he'd much rather know the truth, do his thing, tell the truth, and know what's really going on. So win, and so to speak, and then die knowing that he knows the truth, rather than just living behind, living gleefully ignorant to the lies, and just living day to day with your head buried in the sand. Man, like I said, this friggin' song. Every bar, my fingers like ready to hit the space bar, because every bar I could stop it.
Hypnotized, let's concern with famine and some ghetto Whizzingtons. Why prison life with innocent minds being victimized? Sodomized, little lies result in getting killed with knives. Feeling spice, spill the blood of parents as their children cry. Stranger people choose to lose and live, I'd rather win than die. I traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces changing, all they're trying to do is beat the game. I traveled.
So even this hook, man, he's talking about how he's been around the world 10 times. So he's going to all these different countries, and all he's seeing is the same stuff. He's seeing pain, and then he comes home and he finds that nothing has changed in his own city, and he sees his own peeps, his own family, his own friends. They're in vain, and although the faces change, they're just trying, basically, they're trying to win the game, or whatever it is that he said. But how long does it take to travel the world in 10 times? I mean, that's years and years. So he's been around the world, going around the world for years, and every single time as he comes home, he discovers that nothing has changed. It's just that cycle. Even maybe that's what he means. Like the faces change, so maybe that's what it is. It's like the streets are the same. It's just, just the faces on the streets are changing. There's never any getting out. Just that ongoing cycle.
Different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces changing, all they're trying to do is beat the game. I traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces changing, all they're trying to do is beat the game. Just cause he's richer don't make him a better man. Feel twice as good at everything I have is second hand. Heavy-headed brothers get beheaded as I tread the land.
What do they say about that, man? Money can't buy happiness. I mean, there's all kinds of studies to prove. I don't know the exact money amount, but there's all kinds of proof to show. Once you reach a certain point of money, I think it's somewhere in the 70,000 range, that there is no more. Like the level of happiness does not increase the more money you get from that point forward. I've talked about this a few times with some of my friends. It's like, look at somebody like Bezos from Amazon. It's like when you have that surreal amount of wealth, where you can go anywhere, buy anything. I mean, the guy has so much money. He could probably, people talk about him buying an NFL team. The guy could probably buy the NFL, for God's sakes. He has that much money. But there comes a point where like how many cars can you own? How many houses can you own? How many private planes can you own? How many countries? He's probably been to every single country he's ever want to fly to. He's eaten everything he's ever wanted to eat. He's drank $10,000 bottle of champagne and left half of it in the bottle. Like you reach a certain amount of wealth, and it's got to mess with your head, man. You can never reach that level of happiness. It's I know it's really weird to think of it that way, but I think that's how, because of that, that's how shit like just Jeffrey Epstein happens, because you get to a point where you can do anything. You've done everything. You've slept with the most beautiful women. Like I said, you've owned all the greatest cars. Where does that happiness come from? Where does that enjoyment? Where's that joy? Where do you find your joy? So that's like an island where you can go sleep with underage girls, or you can do shit like that. That's how stuff like that happens, man. I think people get to a point where they're chasing that. It's almost like chasing that next high for a drug addict. I think that's kind of what it is. Anyways, I'm way off. I went kind of on a tangent there. I apologize. But like, I often try to tell that to my kids, is like, be grateful for what you have, because there's people who are grateful, much grateful than you are, and they have much less. It's all a state of mind, man. It really is. And that's what this cat's saying, man. Is like, I've seen, I've seen basically, or I have twice as, or I can't remember exactly what he says, but I have less, but I'm twice as happy. I can't remember how exactly. You know what I'm trying to say. You know the song. I'm gonna bring it back, but I want to hear this again. But he's basically saying, I don't need all your money to be happy, because you can be rich and miserable, and I can be happy, and all my shit's secondhand from. It doesn't matter. It's a deep line, man. I just murdered it in a bad way. So I apologize.
The same thing, face the change, and all they're trying to do is beat the game. Just cause he's richer don't make him a better man. Feel twice as good at everything I have is second hand. Heavy-headed brothers get beheaded as a trend.
I guess, sorry, I gotta stop it again. It doesn't make him a better man. Again, it goes to, he's also talking about too, like, just because somebody has money doesn't make them a better person. People look down upon people who don't have money, and often look up to. I want to be that person. I want to be Jeff Bezos, for example. I'm using him as an example because he's got so much freaking money. But people look up to him. I want to be Jeff Bezos, and then they will see somebody who doesn't have money, and they'll cross the street because they want nothing to do with this person, and look down at them like there's something that there's something less than they are because they have less money. It's backward thinking, obviously.
Better man, feel twice as good at everything I have is second hand. Heavy-headed brothers get beheaded as I tread the land. Deafening the masses, it's the savage from the beggar fam. Hate began to swell from the second that this quest began. Every man for himself is death if you don't understand. Blooded fish chase ultimate spirits hidden in the sand. Ice caps melting phase, one of God's bigger plan.
Sorry, I want to hear that part again. I feel like I missed some shit there. One sec.
Second hand, heavy-headed brothers get beheaded as I tread the land. Deafening the masses, it's the savage from the beggar fam. Hate began to swell from the second that this quest began. Every man for himself is death if you don't understand. Blooded fish chase ultimate spirits hidden in the sand. Ice caps melting phase, one of God's bigger plan. Who's it gonna be? You or me? Fuck authority. Honestly, I don't give a Ross up my prophecy. Every damn politician man needs a lobotomy. Heard you wanna take me down? Go and take a shot at me. My verbal acid burns malice into broken flesh. Standing at the gate of your demands, you wish you'd spoken less.
Oh my goodness, this guy, his flow. I meant to mention earlier, but I love. It's just like my video yesterday, man. I'm loving the way he is all over the place with his flow. He sped it up a couple times. The machine gun. He did that, and he's just a ridiculous MC and lyricist. You can tell that it's very difficult for me because I'm trying to listen, but at the same time, I think the more I hear this song, the more I'll really appreciate just how just how well he delivers this message. The message, I'm trying to focus on the message, as you know, but I think with further viewings and listening, I'll really appreciate just how well he delivered it with the skill that he's delivering it. I'm just trying to concentrate on the bars at the moment.
Who's it gonna be? You or me? Fuck authority. Honestly, I don't give a Ross up my prophecy. Every damn politician man needs a lobotomy. Heard you wanna take me down? Go and take a shot at me. My verbal acid burns malice into broken flesh. Standing at the gates of your demise. You wish you'd spoken less. The pressure's getting drastic. I've seen man.
I wonder if he's talking. You wish you spoken less. I wonder if. I've said it many times before, but like once you say something, you can never take it back. And there's so many times that old saying where they're saying the reason why you're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth is because you should listen twice as much as you talk. I'm very much that way. You would know that in these videos, obviously, but I'm very much that way. I'm very thoughtful about what I want to say and how I want to say it, especially when I'm in a conversation. And there's that line in Fight Club, man. Especially these days, we get further away from connection with people. It's like when you're having a conversation, it feels like a lot of times people are just waiting for their turn to talk. And I wonder if that's kind of what he's getting at, is like, is that when it's time for your demise, when you're on your deathbed, are you going to wish that you spent a little bit more time listening and understanding than it is to spout nonsense or saying shit that doesn't matter? I wonder if that's what he's getting at.
Needs a lobotomy. Heard you wanna take me down? Go and take a shot at me. My verbal acid burns malice into broken flesh. Standing at the gates of your demise. You wish you'd spoken less. The pressure's getting drastic. I've seen man groping plastic breasts. Say the masochist filming spastic pets having sex. I traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces change and all they're trying to do is beat the game. I traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces changing, all they're trying to do is beat the game. I'm a raggo, punch a handle, cuts with back to lack your pump. Just strangle, batty, pump and pap, picked up and runs, I'll wrap it up. There's lack of understanding, baby. Why would choose to burn the lungs? Step with more precaution, run with men that speak in foreign tongues. So hurry down, cause memory lane.
Basically, I miss a lot of what he was saying there, and I want to bring it back because he went really fast there, and I missed it. But I like that where he's talking, this is why we burn our lungs. So he's, basically saying that you give a shit for smoking weed, but this is why we do it. This is you're part of the reason. Like, people do it to escape reality, and even if it's only for that moment, like, you're the reason why we do this. This is why we burn our lungs. And then he talks about, I think. Like avoiding an immigrant crossing the street and staying away from somebody who looks different than you. I want to hear this again because it's brilliant.
Even though I know the streets the same, seen faces changing, all they're trying to do is beat the game. I'm a raggo, punch a handle, cuts with back to lack your pump. Just strangle, batty, pump and pap, picked up and runs, I'll wrap it up. Just lack.
I gotta admit, I can't catch 90% of that. I apologize. I got Babylon in there and cunts. Other than that, I didn't get it. I'm having a hard time picking up what he's saying.
I'm a raggo, punch a handle, cuts with back to lack your pump. Just strangle, batty, pump and pap, picked up and runs, I'll wrap it up. Just lack of understanding, baby. Why would choose to burn the lungs? Step with more precaution, run with men that speak in foreign tongues. So hurry down, cause memory lane waits in silence. Time for break the chain, shake the dust off your eyelids. A violent way glides afoot these troubled times, where the boss men and coward sellers made for wine. Steady grind, sitting tight, reminisce about the better days. A pretty time to being a slave to what the letter says. It's time for change, make way for the truth now. It's time for you to feel the pain of the youth now. You run your government and somebody's earnings, and but my whole nation go asunder.
Okay, that was an interesting thing about, like, it's time for you to feel the pain of the youth now. So I want to hear what he says before that, but it's a very interesting way of saying it, because often the youth are the forgotten voices in society, and basically this cat's saying, man, you gotta put that other shit aside for a little bit and listen to what we have to say, because we're living this too. We're living, we have all the stuff that we want to say. We want to be heard. Time to see our pain and understand that there's more to it than what's going on in your council chambers or your parliament, or those cats that are CAOs or the people who are making money, or whatever. Like, it's time to listen to us.
To what the letter says, it's time for change, make way for the truth now. It's time for you to feel the pain of the youth now. You run your government and somebody's earnings, and but my whole nation for us under the burning sands, churning out propaganda slogans for vermin scams as far as.
Man, I like that, because a lot of people they have this they look as taxation as theft. And then, so it's like these nations are waging wars with other people's money. Look at that two ways. Could be because of using our money, using taxation money to fight these wars, but also burning. It could be corporations as well. There's a lot of that behind, behind the curtain type of stuff that goes on in terms of. Maybe using the corporation money, because it even talks about burning countries for what's under their burning sand. So that's obviously meaning oil. So we all know about that. It says right there, Saddam assassination equal death. How many times did we hear about these weapons of mass destruction that never existed, yet they go and kill Saddam Hussein, and it's all about the oil. So again, the way he's delivering this and the words that he chooses, absolutely brilliant, outstanding.
It's time for you to feel the pain of the youth now. You run your government and somebody's earnings, and but my whole nation for us under the burning sands, churning out propaganda slogans with vermin scams as far as learning signs of life are governed by discerning brands. I've traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces change, all they're trying to do is beat the game. I've traveled the world 10 times and all I've seen is pain. Come back home to find nothing but my peeps in vain. Feels different even though I know the streets the same. Seen faces change, all they're trying to do is beat the game. Beat the game, beat the game, beat the game, beat the game. I grab the mic and express thoughts to Z. I grab the mic and express thoughts to Z. Once again, I grab the mic and express thoughts to Z. I grab the mic and express thoughts to Z. I grab the mic and express thoughts.
Absolutely brilliant track, and it's one of those ones that I've talked about on this channel a bunch of times, where I'm going to have to listen to this 10 times before I get all of it, and I don't even know if I ever will. It's the ideas and topics that he talks about in this track. Unfortunately, it remains the same. I mean, I think this was 2000. I can't even guess. I'm thinking it's early 2000. 2003, 2006, I can't remember. But if you look at the fact that even if it's 2006, it's still, we're 2021 at the moment, and to see that nothing has really changed, man. Like in 15 years, in almost 2 decades, things remain very similar, and in some cases much worse than they've ever been, at least in my lifetime. So when you see this type of thing, it's beautiful, and in terms of the words and the message, and beautiful. What I mean by is the passion and the delivery, everything that comes around this, the passion, everything that was put into this is beautiful to me. The blood and the sweat and the tears that went into making this art is beautiful. But then it's also so disheartening that almost 2 decades after this track was made, nothing's changed for the better. And then I know there's shit that came much before this, with similar topics and and messaging. So nothing's changed. It remains this cycle, and this cat talks about that in the track, man. Been around the world 10 times and come back and nothing's changed, and still see his peeps in vain. So yeah, man, I can see why this track overwhelmingly won today's poll. So I want to thank everyone who voted, everybody who commented. Appreciate everyone's opinion. I guess tomorrow, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do on Friday, but I'm thinking about possibly maybe doing the Best of Lunar Sea rap battle. Give that a listen. We'll see. I'm kind of interested to check that out. So until then, stay safe and be good to each other.